It is our focus this morning here on eNCA, the rising cost of food. Have you gone shopping lately? The one that stands out for me is the price of 2-litre oil just for cooking. Now, there's no indication price hikes are going to slow down anytime soon either. So it's a global phenomenon, we're getting told, but it's particularly bad here in South Africa. Or am I wrong? Let's bring into the conversation Professor Jannie Rossouw from Wits Business School joining us this morning. Good morning to you, Prof. Always good to have you with us. I see you from Mozambique joining us this morning all the way in Mozambique. Talk to me a little bit about, is it as bad in South Africa as it is around the rest of the world?
Good morning, Gareth. Indeed, I'm joining you from Ila Lenene off the coast of Vilankulos, where I'm holidaying with my wife. But thank you nevertheless for the invitation to talk on this very important topic this morning. The situation is indeed bad. We see sharp rising food prices, not only in South Africa, but also in the rest of the world. And in South Africa's case, the particular problem is that poor people and households with low incomes spend a large percentage of their income on food, and they are therefore particularly hard hit by recent food price increases.
So when we start looking at an issue around food security and food insecurity as well, just doing a bit of research on this, a couple of factors, three main factors come into this. Prof, tell me if this could get better in the short term or worse for us as consumers in the short term. One is the blackouts. We all know what an issue that is. Two was the COVID-19 pandemic and the after effects, and then safety on farms. Of those three, which would you suggest could change in the near future to help us all as consumers?
Well, Gareth, I would add a fourth one, namely very sharp increases in fuel prices. And fuel is a very important input in farming activities. In my view, that is the one that can change if there's a quicker end to the Russia-Ukraine war. So that is the one where we can see a change. Safety on farms, unfortunately, is a very serious problem in as much as the South African police is non-functioning and cannot secure the safety of farmers. They have to look after their own safety. All our Minister of Police can do is shout people down when they criticize him. He's really a chief cowboy. He's not the Minister of Police. The one thing that is, of course, changing off your list is COVID-19, that is basically now under control and would therefore soon be out of the equation. But the other problems are of a structural nature and difficult to judge. Just by the way, on Eskom, that problem has been with us for 15 years. Kids are now going to high school who think that load shedding is normal. My only advice for Eskom is to publish all their contracts for public scrutiny, then we will know what's going on.
It's such a clever way of explaining it. For 15 years now, maybe a little bit longer as well. Children have finished school in this time, Prof. You're actually correct, and very interesting way of describing that. When we talk about the cost of actual food, is there not something government, in your view, can do on helping reduce the cost of food itself? I know we spoke about the fuel price, and there's the argument there, government should reduce the levies there, but suggest they can't do that. Is there a way to reduce the cost of food for manufacturers so it doesn't get passed on to us? What can government do?
Well, the one way for government to reduce food prices, of course, would be to exclude more products from VAT. We have a basic set of products excluded from VAT, and if more products can be excluded from VAT, that would help to reduce food prices. The problem with such an approach, however, is that government would forfeit revenue, and the South African government is really squeezed for revenue at this point in time. So overall, the approach to follow is to be diligent in containing inflation, because a successful strategy of containing inflation will also contain food price inflation.
Professor, always good to speak to you here on eNCA. Thanks very much for taking time up in Lenene Island in Mozambique for us. Even put the bow tie on. Always good to speak to Professor Jannie Rossouw while on holiday with his family, taking time to speak to us on our focus this morning, the rising cost of food. We all know why it's happening, but is there anything that can be done to bring that down? Whether it's a lack of electricity, whether it's the fuel prices going up, all has a knock-on effect. But there must be some way we can make it affordable for those who don't have the money. Just